You're listening to My Comic Life on the My Comic Life Podcast Network. Welcome back to My Comic Life, folks. That's right, we're your podcast for all things comic, movies, video games, geek, nerd. You want it, you got it right here with us. As always, joining me each week in the My Comic Life studio is the only man I know who's ever beat Egon Spengler in a science fair. Still can't believe that happened. Alex, say hi to the folks, Alex.
Oh, I got the ribbon to prove it, Sam. Hey, what's going on, all you people out there? We missed you. Love you, as always. You know, kind of a slow week, though, but I think we put together quite a good show for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, not much is popping off in the world of, movies or video games, but man, we got some exciting comic book news for you here. Marvel Comics has shaken up their roster of their famed X-Men team, and they have invited fans to take part in the election. In fact, Marvel's fan vote will be 100% responsible for the determination of the final member of this team, the first X-Men team of the Krakoan Age. Now, for all you wondering, what the heck is the Krakoan Age, like I was for a second there, Krakoa is a sentient living island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and has been established as a mutant nation state. Now, fans will have until February 2nd of 2021 to vote. And, we're going to be giving you a rundown of the candidates here, as well as our thoughts on who we think should join this team in this historic event. Alex, are you ready to start running through these candidates here and seeing who's worthy and who's not?
Yeah, I'm really interested to get into some of these people because a lot of them are kind of baffling, but we'll see what happens.
A few of these guys like I'm familiar with, and I'm like, yes, I know this person, and other people I'm like, who the like coming out of left field. But hey, I'm glad that they're giving us a wide variety of candidates here, and not just good old standbys that that everybody knows. But first up on our list, Armor. Hisako Ichiki has the powers based around a psionic exoskeleton that she can generate around her entire body. This armor is enormously strong, powerful, durable, and drastically enhances the armor's endurance and agility. The only problem is, though, her armor is weak to lasers and to adamantium. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it seems like everybody in the Marvel Universe has access to a laser at least in like some form, and adamantium, like we were joking before the show, a 3-person team of Wolverine, Dazzler, and Cyclops could rip her a new one in no time. Alex, would you want somebody with those weaknesses on a team? Why should she be on the team, or why shouldn't she be on the team?
Oh man, it's she's got to be a no for me, dude. Because I don't know too much about the new what's been going on with the X-Men in the comics universe. I've been trying to get caught up in everything, but I feel like she is probably just on the list as kind of like a jubilee. Like she brings the youth to the group, and so maybe they might try and do a couple of, coming of age stories or maturity stories or anything like that with her. But I mean, like you said, I feel like it'd take a small army of Sword to just do her in, man. It's like they got those laser weapons, and it's just that there's not much that she can do about it. But
yeah, no, I feel like Nick Fury could be like, hand me a laser sniper rifle, put me 300 yards back, and this is basic training for me all over again, and like I will blast a pin-sized prick into that armor, and bam, she's down,
You were saying that earlier before the podcast, and I gotta agree with you. She does seem like could be more of a liability and more of like a damsel type of role if she does join the X-Men squad. She seems like she would do a lot better in your, maybe your X Factor, X Force, or the New Mutants, perhaps. I just feel like she's a little too young to be on a squad like the X-Men. But I was reading her Wikipedia page. I know you were too, but it's crazy that she was, created by Joss Whedon. I did not know that. So that's kind of, that's a little bit of, trivia there for you, and that does kind of it perks my ears up, but not enough to put her in my top three. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's not making my top three, obviously, but one thing that does sound kind of interesting here that I'm reading also on her Wikipedia is that she can cause her armor to release a large, solid, concussive blast of energy. So I mean, that's kind of like one good thing there, like if you start seeing cracks in the armor, like you can blow it out around you and, take out most anybody around you, like with that, concussive blast. But like I said, just too many people have laser abilities or like the ability to like blast high yield energy beams out of their hands in the Marvel universe. Now look, if I'm strictly just fist fighting people, or just taking on like a large group of guys, in like a brawl, she might be okay. But yeah, no, I'm saying she does not make my list. Obviously you just said she doesn't make yours, so sorry, Armor or Hisako, you don't make the My Comic Life cut here. You gone.
You gotta go.
Gots to go. See ya. Next up, an oldie but a classic, and one that I love. Banshee Sean Cassidy possesses strong sonic abilities, including acoustic kinesis. He creates powerful sonic waves with his voice that achieve various effects, including flight, sonar, and incredibly loud and destructive sonic screams. We got to see a bit of this in X-Men First Class. I got to say, he at least cracks my top 5. He can fly with his voice. He could, if he concentrated, like he could shatter your eardrums. He could blow up your brain. He's a powerful mutant, and I think like he doesn't get used enough. I've always had a soft spot for him, and just like I said, flight, sonar. He can do a sonic shield. He can disguise his voice to possibly sound like somebody else's. Like I said, he could, like I said, shatter your eardrums. Just shatter them. Like that would cause so much pain that would take you out of a fight. I wouldn't want to fight this guy. Alex, what are your thoughts? Does Banshee at least crack your top 5 here?
Ooh, the top 5, probably. Top 3, definitely not. I don't think so.
What?
To me, while he was, entertaining in X-Men First Class, and I do like his powers at their core. I think that they're really, really cool, but he was just always kind of a gag character to me. He was just not. It was just not that great. He's not an X-Men, dude. He's Excalibur, sure. Generation X, absolutely. But I don't know. I would. There's not a single situation that I could feel myself being in where I'd be like, man, I wish Banshee was here. Like, man, Banshee would be here. He would just wreck all these people. And I cannot. I will not say it. Why Banshee when you have Havoc?
Forget that, man. No, I mean, like, you have, like, like you're on the battlefield and there's like an army of Skrull coming towards you, like 20, 40 wide there, and Banshee lets out like this high-pitched scream at like the right frequency, and almost like, like a la Mars Attacks, like causes all their heads to explode. And you're telling me you don't want that guy in the fight next to you?
So you need all of that. You needed to preface that argument with all of that. And you're trying to convince me that this guy's going to be necessary for an X-Men team. I mean, yeah, great. Call him up then. But if there's an army of Skrulls, it's not just going to be the X-Men fighting. There's going to have Excalibur, X-Force, X-Factor. Everybody's going to be there fighting. That's more of your endgame type of.
All right, look, I'll grant you, he may be like a one shot because, like, I know I've heard him, like I've read in comics where like he's had to sit on the sideline because he's wrecked his vocal cords before, in fights. But I mean, get that one early shot, get him to like blow up like 40 people's heads, and then move in with your Havoc or your Cyclops or your Gambit or your Storm, who's ever next, after that, But no, like I said, I just remember him from like when I first started reading like the X-Men comic, because like kind of like what first got me in were like the classic, like 70s X-Men comics is kind of like where I first jumped in. because I started reading like back issues that I could find in a in the library that were in like big trade paperback books, and he was always in them, and so I've always just been like, man, Banshee, not not utilized well enough. I don't think like a writer has really like let him like be free with his powers. Like I would write him, like I said, like I'd write him like blowing up like 40 people's heads, you know.
I do think that you do pose a really good argument, especially with right now in Marvel Comics with the big event that's been going on is this this King in Black event where it's no, I mean, real brief rundown here. Null is basically god of the symbiotes, and symbiotes are Venom, Carnage, Toxin, Riot. All those they all come from a specific. They were all created from the god of symbiotes, and he has come to Earth to kind of. He wants Eddie Brock's son.
Yeah.
And so everybody's fighting him off, but right now it's at a point where Thor is really the only one that can kind of take him out because symbiotes are their weakness is lightning, fire and everything like that. But it would be kind of with the Venom movie, certain sound frequencies were.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
So it would be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to integrate Banshee in that way to maybe he could actually do something. But
do something. I think you're selling him way too short there, my friend.
Man, but maybe I am, but I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. Top 5, maybe. Top 3, no. I'm sorry, but what about you? I mean, you said he's in your top 5. Are we talking like a low top 5, or we got him pretty high on the list?
I'm talking. He comes in at like number 5 of like my top 5 there. To like make this team. Like if my vote came down to like 5 candidates, like yeah, like he barely makes the cut at number 5.
I understand.
So
makes sense. That's where he is for me.
So Banshee, barely squeaking by here, my friend. You made the top 5, but only just a little bit. Okay, I have trouble. I'm laughing so hard at this next one. This is a heck of a name here, but and pardon me, you're about to hear my Texas my Texan come out in me, but we have Boom Boom coming up next there. Wow, that's a hell of a name. Boom Boom, huh? Boom Boom, Tabitha Smith. She can create balls of plasma, which she calls her time bombs. The amount of concussive force that a time bomb can have is directly related to the size of the ball. What do you think, man? Could you even call her name in battle without cracking up and laughing? Could you be like, Boom Boom?
I'm sorry, no. It would have to be Tabitha, Tabs, or something for me, because I'm not gonna be crying for, just like I wasn't crying for Banshee. I damn sure I'm not crying for Boom Boom.
Yeah, the only time, gosh, the only time I think Boom Boom would come in handy is if I was like, hey, Brotherhood of Mutants, hey, Skrull, hey, whatever, fight, 10 o'clock, football field, and then I'm like, okay, Boom Boom, litter the football field with explosive, balls, so like when they get here, blow them up. But man, if I'm leading the X-Men in that fight, you're going to hear me snickering and laughing so hard to be like, Boom Boom, blow up your balls! I'm sorry, I don't mean to be immature, man, but just the name and the power, I'm sitting here, I'm laughing. Boom Boom is not a name. You got to give me a better name than Boom Boom. Nobody wants to scream that in battle. Boom Boom! Throw your balls!
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But reading her Wikipedia page, she does seem like she is at least somewhat formidable.
Yeah. Boom Boom kind of reminds me of those sticky grenades from Halo. The ones that like you would throw on like your worst opponent.
Plasma grenades.
Yeah, plasma grenades. So I mean, I'm not saying she couldn't come in handy, because I mean, yeah, like you get somebody like Banshee, hey there, to like carry her like above the battle, and she's dropping like sticky bombs on people if she could do that, and just blowing like huge holes like in like people's armies. So I mean, yeah, she comes in handy a little bit, but I think once you get into like close combat, that totally negates her power, because she'd be possibly hurting herself or anyone around her.
Yeah, and apparently she was in the 80s. You know, we're talking about she's been around for a while, but this is really the first time I've ever heard of her. So that's kind of
Really?
yeah,
Man, yeah, you think you would have heard of her before now, 'cause, I mean, heck, Dazzler was
especially with
introduced.
a name like that.
Boom, boom, yeah. Dazzler was introduced in like the 70s, and, I've heard about her for a while now, but this is the first time I'm hearing of, boom, boom. All right,
I just
sorry.
don't think that she has what it takes to like you said, to be dropping bombs over a scroll army or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would use her for like strafing bombing runs or like pre-set up battle. Like I know where you're like I know where the enemy's coming in, so like set up like set up along here, and then like you're out of the battle unless you can unless you're really good at like hand to hand combat fighting.
Right. No, she's just not built enough to take on the Shi'ar or the Scrolls or the she's more of a your Hellfire Club, your Morlocks perhaps. She's just more of a street level kind of hero, I think.
Yeah. So sorry, boom boom, you burnt. You ain't making the My Comic Live cut here.
Yeah, she didn't make my top 5. I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry,
not making it. All right, moving on here. Another person I have a soft spot for, but that's just because when I first started reading, comics, I kept looking for superheroes with like the same first name, and he was a guy I stumbled across. I was like, cool, dude, we got the same first name. That is, of course, Cannonball. Samuel Guthrie, or Sam Guthrie, possesses the ability to generate thermochemical energy and release it from his skin. This energy is used as a thrust to cause his body to be propelled through the air like his namesake. Now, for me, Cannonball would come in at like number 4, almost cracking my top 3. In fact, he may make my top 3 just, like based on his powers alone. I think he's, a pretty powerful mutant that, once again, just, hasn't been written quite the right way. But I mean, like, he literally explodes with the force of a cannonball, and he can run into anybody, he'll splatter you like a bug on a windshield because his powers create a little shield around his body, so he can like hit you at 200 miles an hour and it doesn't hurt his body, and it splatters your guts everywhere. So for me, with the name Sam, because Sam's a good name, and the powers,
That's a
solid name there. He's making my cut into the top 4, top 3. What do you think about this, Alex?
Yeah, I'll probably have to put him right about 3. Sounds really good. He's almost, when you think about it, he's almost too powerful to be on the X-Men, because I mean he's more of an Avenger or a Guardian of the Galaxy type. But he's with that force field you said that surrounds his body, when he does use his power, he's almost suited better for space combat than than fighting the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. I could see him being real useful in the. I mean, he was an X-Men before, so it's not like this is a new thing for him. He's been around for God knows how long. I don't even know what to say.
His first appearance was in New Mutants.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's been around for a minute, so I think he's about due. So he easily cracks my top 3, and he's a solid choice for you voters out there.
Oh yeah, no, definitely a solid choice. Yeah, he would be in my top 3. Like I said, when I'm picturing like what I'm weighing these guys against is like, if we're set up on like a wide field of battle and there's like at least 20 enemies coming toward me, like who do I want to the left of me? Who do I want to the right of me? And Sam could just, zigzag through like an army, just, going down one end, coming back the other, kind of like how you mow your yard, just go straight down, turn around, come back the other side. And I mean, like I said, the best analogy I can give you, it's like you're going down the highway and you hit a bug doing 75 and he just splat against your windshield. I mean, that's what's happening to you. That is what's happening. He is wrecking house. And I think even if you could get off a few energy blasts, like we've talked about, it's called the blast field, but that blast field he creates around him, can absorb outside kinetic impact, as well. and also he can absorb it and rechannel it into his own cannonball power. So I mean, like you said, he's almost too powerful, almost like too strong. Like he is a durable, strong fighter. Who can carry you to the end of a fight. So yeah.
Geez, Sam, why don't you? You sure you want to put him at 4 or 3, man? You sound like you want to start making out with him, brother.
Oh, I see your name's Sam too.
Well,
Oh my gosh. No.
You want to get out of here?
Gosh, no.
No, he is like you said. He does sound like he's perfect for the team. I know that they don't have they just have kind of the old school roster right now, so they're looking to add some new blood to it. But like you said, he has the ability to take over a battlefield. He can certainly like fend for himself out there. I like him. I like that choice. I feel like he deserves to be on the ballot, unlike some of the other people that we've already been through,
Yeah. Cannonball, you made the cut. Congratulations. You're coming to the My Comic Life X-Men. All right, coming up next on our list, another classic here. Great mutant. Can't go wrong with having this guy on your team. Forge. Forge is a mutant and tribal shaman with both intuitive genius with a talent for inventing mechanical devices, as well as a high mystical aptitude. Forge can instinctively understand the potential functional operations of any machine in his visual range. His sorcery powers allow him the ability to open portals to other dimensions. So basically, Forge is a technopath. So you point... Forge would be more of like a planner. Like I wouldn't want Forge out on the battlefield with me, but I would come to Forge and be like, hey, Forge, we're about to fight the Brotherhood of Mutants. It consists of these mutants here. What weapons can you build for me that would help me best battle these mutants? And this is why Forge I'm going to put Cannonball at 3 and Forge at 4. Forge comes in at 4th for me just because having him on my team as a strategist, and also he could teleport me in and out, wherever I want to go. But I mean, he could design or hack any computer I needed to get information on people, or design or help me design or modify any weapon I already have in my arsenal to make me more powerful. This is why I want Forge on my team. Alex, would you want Forge?
Oh man, I think you did a really good job of convincing me. So what I'm gonna do is Banshee's getting the boot, and I'm slotting in Forge right there.
You're slotting in Forge at 5?
Forge is 5 for me, man, because I feel like like you said, I didn't think about it before, but he does kind of seem like he would fit that Lucius Fox, that the Q from James Bond,
Yeah.
He does seem like he would be really good with that. As far as him out there being on the battle, I'm with you. I don't really see him doing too much with that, not at least without a retcon, a serious retcon to the character.
Yeah, but the only time I would want Forge out on the battlefield with me per se, maybe maybe if he gets some Navy SEAL weapons training, or Fury trains him in weapons, and he designs the most badass sniper rifle, so he's sitting back from the command post 500 times zoomed in with a really advanced sniper rifle. Sure, let him take a few pot shots then, but beyond that, I don't want him up front, he's my guy that I'm radioing and I'm like, hey Forge, we just lost the left wing, what do we do next?
Yeah, no, I also feel while he is, technically, not technically, I mean, he is a genius for his ability to understand technology and everything like that, but I feel like this current roster of X-Men, they've already got, Professor Charles Xavier, they already have, Beast, Henry McCoy, so they have two people that do have doctorates and are considered some of the smartest people in the X-Men universe. So do they really need a third?
Yeah, but are they technopaths that can talk to technology and be like, here, I need all the files on Senator Bolivar Trask and all the files on the next stage of Sentinels. I
I
mean,
mean, I get where you're coming from, but I just feel like they could. That's a very niche type of scenario
I know.
where something like that would happen. That's not going to happen every issue. They're not going to have to, hack into something.
All right, Forge, you're 4 on my list, 5 on Alex's, and you just made the cut. Congratulations,
He made
sir.
it on. He made it on just my love for the X-Men animated series.
Yeah, exactly. Forge, you made it. Moving on, next up we have Marrow. Sarah Nucky was a mutant member of the Morlocks, a group of underground dwellers. She is proficient in using blade-shaped bones as throwing weapons or in hand-to-hand combat. She is an expert combatant that possesses enhanced strength, agility, reflexes, and a healing factor. Look, you can grow bones out of your body and pull them out at will and throw them at shit. And you have a healing factor and you're strong. Guess what? Don't need you. Don't want you. Sorry. You can grow. You can go grow your bones somewhere else. If I want those specific sets of powers, I'm looking at one Canadian and one Canadian only. He smokes cigars. He's surly in the morning. He's got the most whacked out hairdo. We're talking Wolverine, man. If I got Wolverine on my team, what the crap do I need Marrow for? I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry that you have one of the most painful mutations I can think of, growing bones out of your skin. That cannot feel great, and I'm sorry for that, but I don't want you. I don't need you. Alex, what do you think?
Hold on a second.
Okay. What are you pouring one out for Marrow there?
Yeah, sadly she's not in my top 5. I think she looks cool. Probably one of the coolest looking ones on this list.
Yeah, she's drawn cool. Like she's got some like interesting looking, like almost like purple skin color with like fiery pink hair. So I mean, like she's like an artist's dream to draw, and like her bones coming out of her look really, really awesome. I mean, like you wouldn't want to like jump on her back and be like surprise, or else you're gonna get impaled and die. But
it's sad that they couldn't. Maybe on a separate list, like we've been talking. She's not an X-Men material.
I mean, like she could guard Muir Island for me. She could go work with Moira McTaggart out there. And just guard Muir Island, or be a part of X Factor or X Force.
Or even Morlocks. Have their own miniseries in the comic.
Yeah,
six issue miniseries of the Morlocks. She could go ahead and lead that. But
yeah, go lead the Morlocks. Go dethrone the current Morlock leader, and go lead the Morlocks.
For sure, but I mean, I think she is the most adept at hand-to-hand combat on this list.
Yeah,
but I just don't think that that's enough to propel her to the pageantry that is the X-Men. Like you said, if I need hand-to-hand combat, if I need something dirty done out there, if I need somebody cut up, man, I'm calling the man who's the best he is at what he does. And it's and why not? But
yeah.
I thought that there might have been a couple of cool storylines that they could do since she was a Morlock, and I think it was Gambit way back in the day was the one that actually rescued her.
And like kind of like sponsored her like into the X-Men, and that was a cool storyline. Don't get me wrong, she's had some cool storylines, and they have used her powers in cool and interesting ways. But like I'm telling you, like if I'm voting this in, it's like vote in like the last X-Men member. Marrow, you're not making my cut.
No, I don't think so. I think she was created in the 90s. She's a 90s character, and she needs to just stay in the 90s.
Yeah, Marrow, maybe someday later, but for now, you cut. All right, moving on. This one I know is a personal favorite of Alex. We were talking about it before the show, and man, this one may make like his number one spot. I don't know. But we are going with Polaris. Lorna Dane is a mutant born of an affair between her mother and Magneto. Like her father, Lorna possesses the ability to manipulate magnetic fields By doing so, she can achieve force field projection, flight, metal manipulation, and energy projection. Alex, I've been taking the lead on all these. You were talking up Lorna Dane, like y'all dated in college, so I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Man, she is who I voted for 100%. It was a very easy vote for me too. Because
you voted for her.
She's easily the most powerful person on this list. She has all of the, the powers that her dad has. And I think at one point she was a bit more powerful than her father at this magnetic field manipulation. But it's somebody who's strong enough to go toe to toe with anybody in the X-Men universe and come out on top.
Yeah, you've kind of sold me. I knew who she was before, of course, but like rereading her biography, she comes in at like almost like number 2, if not number 1 on my list. I'm seeing her like in my head, like she could literally pull the metal out of your body, like pull metal out of the ground and trap you in it. She could, just crush you, with the sheer power of magnetism. Like she can make it be like you were being, ripped in half by like, oppositely polarized magnets. She is powerful. She is strong. She is a force to be reckoned with. The powers of Magneto. We have seen Magneto literally throw the Earth off its magnetic axis before. And if what you're telling me is that she rivals, if not is stronger than her father, then yeah, she's on my right side. And I'm saying go first, go forth and crush everybody in front of me. Lorna Dane, you are by far the strongest and probably one of the strongest mutants and possibly the best bet to make the team. Alex, any final words on why Lorna Dane should be making the X-Men?
She's just 100% she's an alpha mutant, man. She's almost an omega level mutant like her dad, and that's just with someone like Phoenix being on the team, they do need somebody that's equally as powerful for when inevitably Phoenix just loses her mind and starts, turning against the team.
Yep. Lorna, congratulations. You have at least cracked the top 2 of My Comic Life's voted in X-Men. You are awesome, lady. Coming up next, this guy I just have a soft spot for because, once again, I don't think people have used him the right way in comics forever, and I remember him from the 90s X-Men cartoon and from like the toys, like he used to have toys of himself, and I always thought he looked really cool in comic book art. Goofy, yet cool. And that guy is simply called Strong Guy. Strong Guy, or other name is Guido Carosella. Strong Guy has the ability to absorb kinetic energy and use it to enhance his physical strength to above normal limits. He possesses superhuman strength, stamina, and durability. Basically, you hit him, he absorbs it, it makes him stronger. You hit him with an energy beam, he absorbs it, makes him stronger already, and he's already base strong to begin with. You try to punch him in the face, break his nose, knock off his kind of cool sunglasses he's always had, he's just going to get stronger and hit you back with it. So, for that argument alone, Strong Guy, you're at least number 4 on my list here.
My God.
Oh, I can already hear the sweet derision coming from Alex here. Look, man, the guy can absorb kinetic energy and throw it back at you. Why would you not stand behind him on a battlefield and let him take, all the punches and then deal them back out, why not? Yes, terrible name. Clearly the writers were on vacation, when they named this guy. What are we going to name him? Strong Guy. Why not Strong Guy, Alex?
I just don't think I just never liked this character. I always thought he looked weird. His name was terrible. I guess reading through his bio and all his powers and everything here in the Wikipedia, he does seem kind of cool. He does, it says he's he can at base level lift 50 tons and up to 100 tons, and the X-Men team that they've put together right now doesn't really have that heavy hitter, so he does kind of he at least he does that. But it's just, to me, there's better people that they could get to do something like that. I just don't. I don't know.
Okay, sorry, strong guy.
Do it for me.
You got knocked down to number 5. I'm reading your weaknesses, and nothing against you, good sir, but apparently your heart can't take your power, so you can only absorb so much kinetic energy before you start to have a heart attack. And currently you have a pacemaker, which has greatly improved your heart, but you've been in a coma before and had several heart attacks in fights due to the fact that you can only take so much.
Yeah, for your data, like a lot of these people that they keep putting on this list are just more, they're more X Factor than X-Men to me.
Yeah, sorry. So, strong guy, I want you at the bar with me on Friday nights when I accidentally have too many. I insult the wrong guy's mother, and I need a guy and like a bar fight maybe, But yeah, I don't know, man. I'd feel really bad if you had a heart attack, like fighting the Brotherhood of Mutants, like right out there on the battlefield. That just tumbled you from 3 to 5 in my book. Sorry, brother. I thought you had the body to handle the fight, but you don't. Alex, does he even crack your top 5?
No, if anything, he's got to be. So what I have Banshee at 6. So I'll probably put Strong Guy at about a 7. He's probably
all right.
He's at least at the bottom half of this list for me.
Strong Guy, see ya, sayonara. We wish you well. You didn't quite make our cut, but we wish you all the best, sir. Good luck with the pacemaker.
Good luck, man.
Yeah. Moving on down here, this guy is interesting. He's kind of powerful. Sunspot Roberto da Costa can absorb solar radiation and rechannel it in order to give himself a variety of abilities like flight, enhanced strength, speed, agility, and thermokinesis, photokinesis, and plasma blast. Man, who doesn't want a guy like this on your team? I mean, you literally try to grab him and choke him out in the middle of a fire or in the middle of a fight, and you end up like with not even 3rd degree. I'm talking 6th degree burns on your hands. There's a reason this guy is called Sunspot. He can generate heat close to that of the sun. He can burn you. He can fight you. The only thing that might hurt him a little bit is a solar eclipse, or if you can block out the sun. But even then, he's got stored energy reserves. I say, if Polaris is 1, Roberto is 2, Banshee's, 4 or 3, Forge is 4. Yeah,
And you got Cannonball at 3.
Yeah, Cannonball at 3, Sunspot at 2. You sold me on Polaris at 1. Banshee at 4 and Forge at 5. Those are shaping up to be my top 5. I would definitely want this guy next to me. I mean, like, just variety of powers. Energy absorption is one of them. He can absorb various forms of energy available to him just beyond sunlight, I mean, who doesn't? I mean, like I said, this guy just brings in light energy around him, and rechannels it as pure heat energy. You want this guy on your team. Alex, do you want him? Do you not want him?
So I have 2 spots left in my top 5, number 2 and number 4. Oh man, and your whole argument there is kind of like making me want to put him at number 2, but I'm just gonna go with my original, my gut, and I'm gonna put him at 4.
Even though he's
That's not to say I don't think that he deserves to be on the team at all, because I do. He is easily probably the second most powerful person on this list.
I mean, come on. He's been trained by the likes of Wolverine, Captain America, Black Panther, Daredevil. So not only can he blast you with an array of fire and heat energy, not only is he immune to fire and heat, but he's a skilled hand-to-hand combat. So even if his powers did somehow fail him in combat, he's still been trained by some of the best hand-to-hand fighters in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, he's definitely, like, he's got the stats. he's got the application. He almost suffers from the same thing that we were talking about with Cannonball, where he might be just a hair too powerful for the X. To me, he seems more like he should be an Avenger
Yeah.
than an X-Men. I mean, he's that powerful, and that's not with the X-Men already having Phoenix. Why do they need another, person who can manipulate fire?
Well, because Phoenix might turn on you. He's not going to turn on you.
This is a man of honor, right?
Yes.
Here.
A man of honor who can do capoeira. I'm reading it.
That's right.
So, not only is he going to kick your ass, but he's going to look really stylish doing it. And if you can lay down a sick beat for him to kill you to, it'll look even better.
And I will say he's probably my personal favorite as far as like how he looks. Like I really have always liked his model and the way, especially whenever he goes into his sunspot mode. Like he's just like an eclipsed human, and I always thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, I mean, even with this photokinesis, he can rechannel solar energy. I mean, he could blind you on the battlefield. Like everyone else, close your eyes, and he could burn so bright. That like I said, he could blind his opponents if he wanted to. Man, you're coming in at number 2 on my list, Roberto. Any final thoughts here on Sunspot, Alex?
I'm sorry, it's got to be a 4 for me, dude. It's nothing personal. I just feel like there's one other person who has a lot more to bring to the X-Men than you do. Sorry, bud.
Well, Sunspot, either way, you burned your way onto our list, and we're happy to have you here. You made the cut for My Comic Life. All right, last but not least, we have Tempo. Tempo, now that's a name there. Tempo, also known as Heather Tucker, was one of the founding members of the terrorist organization known as the Mutant Liberation Front. But when the MLF attempted to blow up the Tucker Clinic, a place where pregnant mothers could have prenatal DNA testing to see whether or not they were having mutant babies, it was Tempo who tipped off the X Factor team about their plans. Tempo can manipulate time itself, though only in her immediate vicinity. She can also levitate herself and fly at subsonic speeds. Alex, do you want this person on your team or not? Go.
This is my number 2 right here, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you. I know, but I'll tell you why. I feel like she's the most conflicted person on this list, and her storyline can branch off to so many different directions for this new X-Men team, especially with her originally being a villain. Or a member. She was one of the founding members of the MLF, and I mean that's an old school X-Men villain, and I just feel like with her trying to bust it over to the good side, that will lead to a lot of different storylines. A lot of she probably has the best chance at getting a redemption arc out of this whole experiment that they're doing. And I mean, she can, and I didn't even start talking about her powers yet. She can manipulate time, man.
But only time around her, and she can only slow it down or speed it up.
I get it, but that's easily enough to overpower Boom Boom. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, true. I mean, like it does say that she has often stopped a number of grenades from exploding. So yeah, so like Boom Boom snaps her fingers to blow up her bombs, and she can slow down time enough to get everyone out of the vicinity of the blast or move Boom Boom's bombs around. I'll try saying that 5 times fast.
Yeah, that's yikes. But I just think that she offers the most as much as far as like depth and how far they can go in these stories than any other character on this list.
Boom. I mean, sorry, not Boom Boom, but Tempo, you come in at number 6 on my list.
That's respectable. I'll take it. I will take it.
I mean, so yeah, Tempo. You make Alex's cut, you don't make my cut, but hey, I do recognize, you got some dope powers, but I'd rather be hiding behind Polaris in a fight than you. Sorry, nothing personal.
For sure, man. For
All
sure.
right, Alex. So we have our top five, and like my five start out at Forge, Banshee, Cannonball, Sunspot, Polaris. Now I'm gonna have to cut that down to three. So goodbye Forge and goodbye Banshee. So that leaves Cannonball, Sunspot, and Polaris to me. Going through this, I'm sorry to say, I got to cut a fellow Sam off the list, and so my top two that would get my vote would come down to Polaris or Sunspot, and my vote would go to Sunspot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, what can I say? My little inner pyromaniac is coming out of me, and I just want to watch the world burn. Alex, cut down your top five and give us your number one vote getter.
So my five, I think it was Forge, and then I had Sunspot, then Cannonball, and then Tempo and Polaris. So this is kind of a lot easier for me since I already did kind of vote. But so my top three, obviously, you got Cannonball, who is, I would put Cannonball in there. You've kind of convinced me to swap my four
Yes.
and my two. So I will put Sunspot in there at two, or Sunspot will make the cut regardless of rank in the top five, and then I have Polaris as well in my top three.
Okay.
And easily, like I said, it was a very easy vote for me. Like I just took a look at the list and I was like, okay, well this is easily going to be Polaris. And I don't know who's leading up to this point. I don't know if they've released anything about that, but I really honestly feel like it may come down to just Polaris and Sunspot, because those are two of the most recognizable, two of the most powerful. They have the most to offer to the team. And it was just an easy vote for me to go with Polaris on this one.
All right. So, Polaris and Sunspot, you make the My Comic Life X-Men team. You're who we're voting on to the island. Congratulations. It was a tough battle.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, but you won us over with your powers and your awesomeness. Sunspot and Polaris, you've got the My Comic Life seal of approval.
Boom, got it. And please, fans out there listening, let us know.
Yeah.
Comments.
Yeah, I mean, tell us, email us at realmycomiclife@gmail.com. Comment on our YouTube channel. Leave us comments on the My Comic Life Facebook page. Who were your top five and who would have been your top vote getter? Tell us how we're idiots for leaving Tempo out, or that we're geniuses for who we picked, or, can't believe you didn't put Banshee in there. Let us know what you think. But
absolutely.
Yeah, man, for sure. But hey, staying on the Marvel side of things, but kind of rolling over to the episodic television side of Marvel things, we're here to talk about Disney's WandaVision. This show is getting great reviews. It's capturing a lot of people's attentions here, Let's kind of run through this really quickly here. Episode 1 was an homage to Dick Van Dyke, and it was a lot of just build-up. Episode 2 was an homage to Bewitched, and once again, I'm going to use a jelly donut metaphor here. It was a jelly donut with no jelly in the center. So, I was enjoying the ride. It was a sweet pastry, but there was no payoff. But as of the recording of this show, Episode 3 has come out. And man, we're starting to get some of that payoff here. Episode 3, titled Now in Color, has Dr. Nielsen, which is kind of funny because TV shows run on the Nielsen ratings scale.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Dr. Nielsen checks on Wanda's pregnancy and says she is 4 months along and everything is fine before leaving for an intended holiday with his wife. While Vision sees Nielsen out, he sees his neighbor Herb unknowingly cut through their wall. Wanda and Vision paint a nursery while debating on what to name their children before Wanda's pregnancy elevates to 6 months right before their eyes. When she begins contractions, her abilities begin to move things in the house and eventually shut down the entire town's power grid. Geraldine arrives to help Wanda deliver the twins, Tommy and Billy. Vision catches Agnes and Herb going outside. They talk about Geraldine, who has just arrived in town, but strangely doesn't have a home or family. Inside, Wanda interrogates Geraldine after the latter reveals she knows that Ultron killed Wanda's twin brother, Pietro. Wanda notices that Geraldine is wearing a pendant with a sword emblem on it. When Vision returns, Geraldine is gone. Outside of Westview, Geraldine is cast out from a wall of static surrounded by sword agents. Whew, that's a lot.
Yikes,
Do you like?
Man. I'm proud of you, dude. You made it through all of that.
Alex, do you like the direction? Like are things starting to speed up for you? Like is it starting to build toward that sweet action you wanted? Like are you starting to find the show that you wanted out of this, or are you still like this show hasn't grabbed me yet? What do you think?
So the first episode, I rated it probably about a C plus, a B minus, probably closer to a C plus because there was literally no action in it. It was just all exposition, all setting the table, so to speak. Episode 2, I mean, again, I would have to go like a straight up C on that one. I did enjoy it a lot more. It was funnier and more fun to watch, but it was still like you're still setting the table. And so you've got episode 3. I would probably give this one. I'll probably go back up to a C plus, I guess, on this. Not a whole lot, but it did give me just enough at the end to where now it's like, okay, well, we're finally going somewhere with this. Like they're starting to bring out the appetizers. We're finally gonna be able to eat. And
man, you and I are watching two different shows, man.
We must be because I'm just a sucker for the action, and right now you're just gobbling up all these Easter eggs and all the mystery and all of it. And to me, it's just like I'm just like, me dumb when explosion coming, like. But
oh,
I mean,
man, no.
Why don't you give your thoughts on it, Sam?
Would never. Okay, first of all, you are not dumb at all, sir. Never gonna call you that, man. But it's like episode 1, B minus. Episode 2, B minus. Episode 3, B plus, man. I'm loving the character development. I'm loving seeing like the neighbors, the town, all that grow. I'm kind of curious because in this episode, spoiler, Vision uses his super speed to dash over to the doctor to catch him before he runs out on vacation because you're right, Wanda goes from 4 months to 6 months to having the babies, and then he dashes the doctor back over here. And yeah, you find out that the woman in the town without a home is Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel. The young girl from Captain Marvel, which threw me off at first, and then made sense because I realized that Captain Marvel took place in the 90s, and she is an agent of S.W.O.R.D. What's the connection there? Like, how did she get involved with S.W.O.R.D.? And I got goosebumps when she was like, your brother was killed by Ultron, and like Wanda was like, I don't like that. You're an X factor in my town that is like, throwing off like the calm, peaceful, happy sitcom environment that I have built here. You're gone. And yeah, she rather painfully throws her out of town, So
when you say gone, you mean she is gone.
I mean, like you literally see Wanda pick her up, throw her through a wall, through a billboard, and then out the force field, and you're like, ow. I'm sorry you had to go through a billboard at like, X amount of miles per hour. I feel sorry for you, So no, like I said, this episode, like I said, first 2 were B minus, like I said, but I'm liking the more kind of like, I know this is kind of like a weird thing to call, but almost like the X-Files mystery aspect of this show, like, because I don't know where they're going with like the next episode, and like I'm curious to see them, like, how does Wanda maintain this reality, and is Vision really dead, or was she able to will him back to life? There's just so many what ifs up in the air that it's going to keep me coming back week in and week out. Would you, like, if it doesn't pick up for you, are you just going to like wait for all 8 episodes like come out and then like binge them all at once, or are you still going to stick around?
Man, I'm gonna give it like one more episode because I honestly like I get what you're saying and it's cool and everything, but I really feel like these first three episodes could have just been 1 hour long episode. They could have cut out a lot of what we saw and just with 1 hour long episode, you got 20 minutes in the 50s, 20 minutes in the 60s, 20 minutes in the 70s.
All right, all right.
We'd easily be right where we are right now. So that's it's just so slow. I'm sorry out there. If you guys really do like it, I hate to burst your bubble. It's just not for me. It's okay to love it, and it should be okay to hate it. So please don't come at me in the comments.
All right, folks. So yes, please let us know in the comments. Again, email us at realmycomiclife@gmail.com. Comment on our YouTube channel. Comment on our Facebook page. Are you loving this show, or is it boring you and you couldn't care less? Let us know in the comics. But you know what, folks? That does it for this episode of My Comic Life. So as always, ditch the herd. Be a nerd. Stay strong out there, my friends.